What's up, YouTube? Fantard here to talk about One Piece. Man, it's been so long since I've spoken about One Piece lately, and I haven't had time to make videos. I've been making videos on Fairy Tail, and I feel nasty. But anyway, I want to talk about One Piece. I haven't been able to talk about it like in a little while because it's so hard to do reviews on Thursdays, and that's when most of the shows come out. I've been doing those like reviews on Saturdays or Sundays, time constraints, but whatever. Anyway, this arc with Mom has just been insane because, first off, I was one of the guys who got completely suckered into Pudding being good. I completely believed her. Bad me. I have, I guess, a weakness for cute girls in the anime, just like Sanji, and that completely threw me for a 180. Her power seems pretty interesting. Like, she can take the memories of the enemy and just arrange them in a certain way. Now, I'm not completely sure, but I think her third eye controls the person, or I have to look back at that, but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I should look back to that, but man, Pudding is fucking evil. She looks like one of the worst daughters out of all of Big Mom, and it just it's awesome that Oda was able to do that. It's not that it wasn't predictable, it's just the way that Oda made it flow was just what made it work. You had her look so nice, and the way that the angles of the drawing of the manga, when she whispered to Luffy and she gets back up, she starts crying, walking away, and Luffy's like, "Hey, oi!" But it makes you think that she's gonna go sacrifice herself, but in actuality, she gave Luffy this evil stare. What's really gonna happen? How she's gonna kill Sanji? And on top of what's been going on in this arc, you have Big Mom, who really just wants to kill the Vinsmokes and just wants to take all their technology. She has no interest in helping them whatsoever, or giving them her power, which I'm honestly a little curious. Why wouldn't she want to give them some of her power like she did with Whole Cake Island? Because apparently all they kind of wanted was her emblem on their flag, and it'd be much easier for them to take over the North Blue. And I'm really interested in what's Big Mom, what is her goal in her killing all the Vinsmokes. Wouldn't it be more logical to have the Vinsmokes under her control so she can spread her power? I'm really curious about how that goes. And on top of that, you have the build up between Sanji and Luffy, and that was done so well. When you have a conflict with friends, that's the way you do it. That's how you make it happen. You have them beat the shit out of each other. You have them go through their turmoils. You have them come to a conclusion on where they stand. Because Luffy, he looked all fucking dead inside. He went through hell to get Sanji back. He stuck to his guns, man. And then when Sanji gave him his food, it felt so good. And Luffy finally got him to say the truth on what he wants to do. He wants to go back home to the Straw Hats, but he doesn't know what to do. He still feels an obligation to these people, to his family. And it's really sad because it shows how good of a kind-hearted person Sanji really is to his family, especially his sister Reiju. She's really nice with him. I think they're on good terms because he walked in on Pudding, tried to take out her memories, and he heard everything. He overheard everything. And just that panel of him smoking his cigarette and him crying. Sanji, man, he deserves some good stuff after this arc, man. He deserves Nami or something, I don't know. Because it's been hell for Sanji this whole time. Going through so much, man. So much character, character growth, man. He's going through a phase in his life of he's fighting back his demons, his enemies from his past, and Oda has just been handling it so well. And the thing that I'm loving about this arc is what Oda does, and it really it tones down. It really helps out my imagination. I'm always when it comes to reading stories, I'm oh, what if this happened? What if there's something leading to this? And which is something I can't get in Fairy Tail, but Oda surpasses my imagination level. And we've all known that for years. Oda is just his story building, world building is so awesome. Because according to Big Mom, when it came to Lola, she doesn't give a shit if Lola is dead or alive, apparently. Because what Lola screwed up was one of a big marriage that could have helped her become Pirate King. and on top of that, so she's mad angry with Lola, and that's another story that we get to see that we're gonna hear later on down the line, because that was all the way back in Thriller Bark. And it's something we're gonna have to explore later on. He probably won't be showing up in another year or so, but that's just another story to Oda's writing. It's just these are subplots, but they're subplots that are done well with the fucking foreshadowing. And she also, Big Mom mentioned about how, oh, I'm not gonna allow myself to be slipped up by being Pirate King like I did with Roger. So she's been around since Roger, and like all these Yonko, man, they've been around for so long, and we could tell they're fucking OP as hell. I don't know what's gonna happen at the marriage, but I know for sure Luffy's not gonna confront Big Mom. He wants to get Sanji and get the fuck out of there. See, Sanji was all planning. He had no idea what to do, but then we have the typical, it's kind of typical. Luffy say, well, that's because you're by yourself. It's a trope, but it works well because it was executed so greatly. And I'm really loving how this arc is turning out so far. It's just more and more. And I'm also curious about Sanji's dad. I want more from him. I want to see more, not just like backstory, more character action. I want to see what are his actions going to be from now on if he finds out that Big Mom wants to kill them. Because I think what's going to happen, and I think it's pretty obvious, is that they're going to come together with the Straw Hats and fight their way out of there to get the fuck out. And I think that's going to be awesome. And Brook in this fucking arc, MVP of this arc. What a badass, man. You sleep with Big Mom and you take her prized possession. And you just did it like a boss, man. He opens the skull and he throws out all the poneglyphs plans. I'm like, Brook. And it was hilarious the way they did it. It was like so cartoony the way they tried to get Brook back. Like Chopper, with his eyes bulging out, man. The comedy was awesome. Everything's been good about this arc so far. I haven't had too many complaints. Even though Pudding betraying was predictable, but I still believed it because of how good Oda executed it. It's just, his execution is so good. Like, this stuff comes, but the way he executes it, it's like, man, fuck, I even fucking believe Pudding. Her acting skills are so great. I don't know when or how this arc or how Pudding's gonna end up, but Pudding is obviously going to be an important character because of the power of her third eye. She's part of some kind of clan, a lost clan. And it's going to be awesome to see. I'm not so sure. I'm not even sure if Pudding is evil still, but she could still be acting. Maybe she might become good at the end. Maybe because I liked her when she was a goody two-shoe. But this brings so much dynamics to her. Her character has become a lot more, like, there's more interest in her now. And maybe we could see, maybe she's not as bad as we see. Maybe she can get converted. I don't know. But I just don't want, I just felt bad for Sanji when he got heartbroken. And then hopefully she could see Lola again. As far as this arc goes, this arc's probably like a 4.5 out of 5 stars so far. Let's hope it really ends off on a high note. It doesn't seem like it's going to be as big of an arc. It looks like it's going to be coming to a close soon once they get off of Whole Cake Island and once they ruin the marriage. And after that, we can move on to the Wano Kingdom, which we still got Zoro and fucking Law showing up. And I'm pretty sure after this arc is over, we're going to get a flashback of what has been happening to them while this shit has been going down. And I can't wait to see that. I want Pedro to live. Pedro, please fucking live. I've been loving this arc. I love your character. I want you as a new Nakama. But I'm not so sure if he's going to live through this arc. He might die. And that's going to suck. Carrot, you've been awesome. Brook, you've been amazing. Chopper, you've been funny. But that's pretty much me making up for not doing some reviews while I've been back. And then while I disappeared, I couldn't do any reviews. So anyway, guys, 4.5 out of 5 stars so far in this arc of Whole Cake Island. I want there to be more awesomeness. There's more story building to build off of this arc alone. And let alone what's going to happen in fucking Wano Kingdom. The connections are fucking amazing. My imagination's going wild with this shit. Luffy, get out of there alive. Sanji, stop being heartbroken by ladies and just go after Nami, even though she's probably going to reject you. Bantard out.